Lord Zuluan has a discerning eye.
I see Cao Cao's old habits are back in force. He's been trying this way and that to bring Guan Yu under his command. They say he's given him all sorts of treasures, even the fabled red hair. Huh, too bad. Once Cao Cao has his mind set on something, it rarely changes. Though, if you ask me, it would have been better if you had gotten the horse. I doubt Guan Yu would change allegiances over mere flattery. And if I'm right, the enemy just gained another weapon. I just hope it doesn't come back to haunt us later.
What perfect timing! Lord Cao Cao has called for you. We must hurry.
I have a question. Were you close to Guan Yu? That can't be so. Surely you bonded during the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Guan Yu is a man of integrity. Imagine he will want to return to Liu Bei's side. But it would be a shame if such talent were lost along with Liu Bei's life. If possible, I would like him to join my forces. I had hoped that if you knew him well, you might be able to think of a way to win him over. So even you cannot think of a way to bring him over to our side. If he wishes to return to Liu Bei no matter what, then perhaps we must make sure that is no longer an option. Before anything else, I want to know what Guan Yu is thinking. The moment our army has a chance to rest, I'd like you to find that out for me.
What? You're asking if I want to continue serving Lord Cao Cao? Certainly. He has been incredibly generous and has treated Liu Bei's family well. That is a debt I must repay in full before I leave. But I do not intend to stay here long. I will leave as soon as I know where my brother has gone. I, Guan Yu, will stand with Liu Bei until my death. That is an oath I will not break. That is not the issue. My loyalty is with Liu Bei. Simple as that. Liu Bei is weaker than Lord Cao Cao. A cause for concern in some ways, I admit. Whenever he sees others suffering or in misery, he is driven to help them, heedless of logic. Because of that, we, and Liu Bei himself, have had to endure countless hardships. Some may see that as foolishness. Others may jeer, calling it a lack of principle. But Liu Bei knows the suffering of the people. He knows the cries of the destitute who lack the power to act. I believe that is the quality necessary to bring an end to these times of war. Forgive my prattle, but those are my thoughts in full. I presume you came here at Lord Cao Cao's behest to see where I stand. If you would, please tell him that I am sorry.
Lord Guan Yu, I hear that Lord Liu Bei is still missing. I cannot imagine how that must feel. But I am happy that I could fight alongside you once more. And I say that in earnest.
I cannot thank you enough for saving my life and the lives of my brother's family.
No need. The loss of a warrior such as yourself would be a loss to the entire realm. You said the same to me once.
Zheng Liao.
I echo that sentiment. Lord Guan Yu, you are worthy of our respect, and I am glad we could speak once more.
Lord Shi Huang.
My training with you was my salvation when I lost my way. At the risk of sounding presumptuous, I hope our presence here eases your suffering even a little.
Aye. We may have different reasons and circumstances, but we are all warriors climbing the same peak. If we train and continue to better our minds and bodies, a path may one day present itself.
I am beyond grateful to both of you. Let us spar, that I may reforge my wavering mind.
Nothing would bring me more joy.
Yuan Shao's forces gathered around Baima greatly outnumber our own. They must be trying to quash our potential strategies with sheer numbers.
Be that as it may, any commander who would lead such a massive army is bound to let his hubris get the better of them. We must discover and strike at where they have been negligent. The question is how?
Send a small force to ambush them? No. It would be but a momentary diversion against an army that large. Though if we can separate their forces, we may be able to take them down one group at a time.
Separate them how? I doubt Yuan Shao would be easily fooled.
If one wants to catch a catfish sleeping at the bottom of a pond, one must use valuable bait.
Bait?
Very well. I will join the assault. Then even Yuan Shao will panic and send his army.
This town has gotten bigger now that I think about it.
The scars left by the Weebu's assault.
Let's begin.
Yes.
Got it!
Yes.
Listen.
Victory on the battlefield.
Now go. I will act as bait and lure away their main force. You take a detached force to drive through the gap and relieve Baima Castle.
Those are Cao Cao's forces, headed for Baima Castle. I have to warn Lord Yin Liang.
If they inform the main force of our position, we will lose the advantage of surprise. Quickly, pursue them!
We will keep the enemy at bay. You must hurry to Lord Yin Liang's side. March forward!
We have received word that Cao Cao himself is headed for Yanjin.
Take this!
We cannot let this opportunity go to waste. We shall send our troops to target him.
Defeated.
We march at once!
It appears we have evaded detection by the enemy for now. We will continue our advance swiftly and silently.
With Cao Cao's remembering makes him an excellent decoy. Just look at the size of the force they've sent after him. With this many of their soldiers here, Baima should be relatively unguarded.
do all that we can to protect Lord Cao Cao.
Their numbers matter not, for I will never falter. With enough wisdom and courage, there is always a path to victory. Begin advancing!
The ambush is about to begin. We must act as one.
Behold, Allied forces are marching to our aid. This will be enough to break the siege. Stand strong! Our victory is imminent!
Has been defeated. I owe Lord Cao Cao a great debt of gratitude. This battle is my chance to repay it with my blade. And Guan Yu! What? You were still enough!
The strength of Yuan Shao's forces lies in their inexhaustible numbers. They seem to be pouring out from the fort.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
We should first focus our efforts on taking the fort. That will force them to change their strategy.
Now advance! Take this!
The resistance is futile. Prepare to attack. With a lot of them.
What happens from here on, that counts.
Prepare yourselves. I leave the rest up to you.
Is insufficient for a comeback.
Worthy adversary indeed.
Victory is sweet.
I have conquered this area.
Taking the fort at Yanjin? Cannot let them cut off our reinforcements. We must reclaim it.
Impressive! The enemy
Start
officer
the advance.
has been defeated.
I am ready.
Impressive!
And I think this...
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Another victim has fallen before me.
Let's start the advance.
This is too good to be true. The enemy's massive force is beginning to crumble all on its own.
We are providing aid in this battle in accordance with our pledge to the people of the North. However, seeing as Cao Cao is loyal to the Han court, we have no objections to taking his life.
That's one more stepping stone on my path to true might.
Guarding the corrupt throne to satisfy your endless
The enemy
avarice.
officer has been
You
defeated.
stand in the presence of Yan Liang. I am one of Lord Yuan Shao's greatest warriors. You really think you have what it takes to fight me? Take this! You do not lack for skill, it seems. This battle has only just begun. Let's end this. I can't believe this.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Chaos has stricken the land. and the tears of the weak pool at the feet of the Emperor.
I am ready.
That is why you must be eliminated. To bring peace.
You do not know who you are or from where you hail, but you seem to be driven by a strong conviction.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
How can this be?
What? Chen Liang has been defeated. Impossible. This cannot be.
I can't believe we managed to drive back such a large force. We may be outnumbered, but this battle is far from hopeless.
Send in Wenchou. Attack Yanjin and bring me Cao Cao's head.
Looking rough.
His crimson tail feathers dance in the wind as he tears across the battlefield. He must be.
Our next target will likely be the enemy forces at Yanjin. This time, we can send some of our soldiers to the front. We can cross the river to the north and attack the enemy from behind. We must also be prepared to scale the cliffs on the way.
Be. No, that's not possible.
Indeed, you really do seem to be a true warrior of the Three Kingdoms.
None other could accomplish such.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Perform in this manner.
The sash of the sacred bird Luan. And those eyes. Yes. You must be.
Predictable. The enemy officer has been defeated. This territory is ours. Let's go. Normally, one seeks to overcome their opponent on the battlefield through superior resources. You, on the other hand, depend on your wits and courage. You may be my enemy, but I do admire your will to fight. You might even color me intrigued by it.
Time's right. You should attack now.
The enemy officer, true warrior of the Three Kingdoms.
Seem to have gained the upper hand.
The enemy officer.
Tide is turning in our favor.
All my might.
Infested.
The enemy officer.
The enemy forces at Yanjin have greatly diminished. We will finish them off once finally solved.
I am Wenchou, one of Yuan Shao's greatest fighters. Any who believe themselves worthy may test their might against me. You are that bad. So your bravery isn't without justification.
Time to end this.
Pitiful situation.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Damn it all. Why did it have to end like this? What? Wenchou has fallen. This is not possible. What on earth happened? I could foresee losing either Yanliang or Wenchou, but for both to have been slain, you fought well this time, Cao Cao. But this brings you no closer to matching our might. In the end, there can only be one victor, and that will be me!
Winning the first battle bodes very well for our side.
Looking rough.
Overcoming their greater numbers will prove to be difficult. This is not where we will strike the final blow. We will pull our forces back for now. This was a great victory, and it is owed to your wisdom and strength.
We are humbled, but it is not yet over, my lord.
Aye. We've swatted away some of their troops, but the flow of the battle has not yet shifted.
It looks like Yuan Shao is continuing his march south. They will overrun us if we do not intercept them.
To defeat a large army, we must first take advantage of the terrain. We will draw back the front line to Guandu. There, we shall make our stand against Yuan Shao.
Zuluan, it's been too long. So it really was you. I never would have expected this. But why didn't you tell me where you were? What's wrong, Zuluan? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't tell me you've forgotten who I am. You won't answer? Or maybe you can't. Then it's true. You really have forgotten everything. Well, I suppose I should have known. If you had your memories, you wouldn't have allied yourself with Cao Cao, the usurper of the Han. You have forgotten your mission, your ideals, and the promises you made. And now you're floating aimlessly through life. Yet even so, you are unable to escape your fate as a guardian of peace. You submit to a higher power and act as a weapon for them, just as you did as a guardian of peace once before. Though this seems even more pitiful, Juha, what did she say to you in the end? Did she tell you to forget everything and live on, or to pursue true peace? If you can't remember, then let me remind you. Juha is dead. You were there when it happened. And now you're living a carefree life, free from any memory of her death. Perhaps that is the greatest insult of all. Remember, Zuluan!
Are you crying? Go, Zuluan. Down your own path. Are you crying? I'm fine. Go, Zuluan.
I thought you had both died. I never imagined. I thought I was alone. Maybe I was being foolish, desperately clinging to a past that will never return. I have some advice for you, Zuluan. If you insist on following the Han and allying with Cao Cao, then I will not hesitate to stand against you once more. You must remember who the Han are to us. Well, the point may be moot if Cao Cao is crushed by Yuan Shao in the next battle. I look forward to seeing him struggle.
Even with such an eminent family, Yuan Shao stands out as truly powerful, trumping even Yuan Shu.
Juha. I see. I had been wondering who she was, and why she chose to help you. It may be that the Juha you saw was a mirage, created by your own sense of guilt. That seems to be the logical conclusion. Zuluan, I believe now is the time for you to face the real Juha. You should figure out what it was that all of you staked your lives to accomplish. You, Juha, Bailuan, and all of the Guardians of Peace. Don't you think you're underestimating me, Zuluan? I think you ought to place a little more faith in me. The key to unlocking your past is most likely the incense used by the Guardians of Peace. I investigated your village and went through just about every relevant text I could find. It took a great deal of time. However, I'm afraid the truth is crueler than you might imagine, Zuluan. I would understand if you wish to avoid learning the truth. That too is a valid choice. But if you do decide you want to unravel your past, it would be my duty as a doctor to offer my full assistance. That said, we had best try out the incense first of all. I will be rather embarrassed if it doesn't help you remember anything.
I hear the way Lord Zhonghe fights is a sight to behold.
So you remember? We fought the government forces that came to purge our village, and were cut down. And now, you know. I am but a fragment of your memory, a mirage from your past, born of your deep, painful regret over having survived that day. I think this will probably be the last time you'll see me. You do not need me anymore. Because now, you remember it all. The dreams we shared, The path we chose. The hopes that I passed on to you. I made my own choices, my own decisions. I lived my life without regrets. Feeling guilty for our deaths only cheapens our resolve. So please, do not blame yourself anymore. From this point on, do not let your desire to atone for your past shape your future. Instead, be guided by your will to see your choices through. Now, go forth. You do not need to look back at us anymore. And thank you. Ziluan, take care of Bailuan for us.
Good. It seems you were able to remember Chuha. That success is a weight off my mind. You did well. I officially pronounce you cured, which means my work is complete. Yes, there is nothing more to be done. Well, I haven't really decided just yet. That's sad. I've always thought of visiting the land where my father studied medicine. Perhaps now is the time. As for you, Ziluan, you will be fine without me. Now that you know who you are, you're free to live your life as you wish. My, how you've changed. Ziluan, you're nothing like you were when we first met. The old you would have never said such a thing. Back then you were a wild warrior, hurling yourself into battle heedless of your wounds. But yes, despite my teasing, our journey has been one of the most rewarding times in my life. I met so many people, all fighting to survive this chaotic era. On second thought, maybe I could linger for a while longer yet. After all, what better place to fulfill my duty? Well, I call it a duty, but it's a humble matter compared to the exploits of someone like yourself. I learned medicine from my father, and he from his father. Along with that knowledge, they passed down the ideal of healing the sick and aiding the wounded. Now that I'm of a certain age, it's my duty to pass that ideal on to someone else. Just as Chuha passed her dreams and ideals on to you. Which is a roundabout way of asking, would you let me travel with you a little while longer? Thank you, Ziluan. I mean, that is to say, I shall continue to be at your service and provide what help I can.